Greetings, Shalom, and thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to share some Torah with you from Cleveland, Ohio, and the Fuchs Mizrahi School. Tucked away in the middle of this week's Parashat, Tisa, we find a somewhat strange episode that takes us away from the drama of Moshe and Chet HaEgel and the people and Shuva and Hashem and the Yod Gimel Midas Rachamim, an episode that I think really highlights some of the tensions and challenges of Moshe as a leader, and really sends us some important questions, raises some interesting ideas about how we should look towards our leadership today and our roles as leaders or as influencers. Psukim describe in Parak Lamed Gimel Pasuk Zayin, Moshe yikach et ha'oel v'natalo michutz lamachaneh harchek min ha'machaneh v'kara lo oel moed. Moshe took a tent, put it outside of the camp, far away from the camp, called it Ohel Moed, the tent of meeting. Anybody who wanted to find Hashem would come to the Ohel Moed outside of the camp. 3 times in one pasuk, the location of this tent being Michutz LaMachaneh, Harchek Min HaMachaneh. Michutz LaMachaneh is emphasized, and the object that Moshe is taking, the Ohel, him calling it Ohel Moed, people going to the Ohel Moed, the location of this particular place, of this particular tent, seems to be of critical importance, and that continues in the next psukim. V'hayaketzei Moshe al Ohel yakumu kol ha'am v'nitzvu ish pedach ahalo v'hibitu acharei Moshe ad bo'o ha'ohela. That when Moshe would leave to the tent, again leaving from his tent that's in the camp to the tent of Ohel Moed that's outside of the camp, everybody would stand up and stand in front of their own tent. Once again, that word Ohel, Ohelo. And they would watch Moshe until he came to the Ohel, the other Ohel of the Ohel Moed. Clearly, the Torah is trying to create a contrast here, for some reason, between the Ohel of the people that everybody is standing in front of, and the Ohel of the Ohel Moed that Moshe is going to. And that people are clearly, for some reason, needing to recognize a distinction between the Ohel that they're standing in front of, which is Ohalehem, their tents, and the Ohel that Moshe is going to. Pasuk Tet. V'hayakiva Moshe ha'ohel, when Moshe would come to the Ohel, Yered amud ha'anan, v'amad petach ha'ohel v'diber im Moshe. So what's standing in front of the Ohel, in front of the tent that Moshe is going to? Not ish petach ha'olo, not every person in front of the Ohel, but rather the amud ha'anan, Hashem, coming and speaking to Moshe. Again, the emphasis on what's standing in front of the Ohel being the Amud Ha'anan, being God's presence. And standing in front of their tent, the people would bow down, clearly recognizing that while they stand in front of their tent, and they are the Anashim, the people that are standing Petach Alehem, Moshe is not standing in front of a tent in the camp. Moshe is outside of the camp and standing together with the Shekhinah, together with Hashem and the Amud Anan and the Ohel Moed. V'diber Hashem Moshe panim el panim kasher yidaber ish al re'ehu. Moshe would then talk to Hashem face to face, like someone would talk to their friend. V'shav el ha'machaneh, and then he would return to the camp. U'misharto Yoshua ben Nun lo yamish mitoch ha'ohel. Yoshua would not leave the tent. What is going on here? Why do we care so much about whose Ohel is where? And why waste the people's time? It seems like every morning and every evening, maybe just every morning, watching Moshe go all the way from the camp to the Ohel Moed and bowing down. Isn't it enough to know, like we say in the beginning set of Psukim, that whoever wants to find Hashem would go to this Ohel Moed? Why do they have to watch Moshe going there every single morning? And why such an emphasis on the location of this Ohel and the contrast between the Ohel of the people and the Ohel that Moshe is going to? And I think what the Torah is trying to highlight, really what Moshe is trying to highlight here, is an antidote to the mistake that the people made at Chet HaEgel. Because just a parak earlier, the beginning of Parak Lamed Bet, we learn that when Moshe stays up at Har Sinai, the people go to Aaron and they say, Kum aseh lanu Elohim asher yalchu lefanenu. Make us a God, make us someone to go in front of us. Ki zeh Moshe ha'ish Asher ha'alanu me'eretz Mitzrayim lo yadanu mehayalo. This person, this man, Moshe, who took us out of Mitzrayim, we don't know what happened to him. And Hashem picks up on the language of the people and tells Moshe, Lechrei kishichet amcha, your nation that you took out of Mitzrayim, go down and deal with them. Clearly there's a mistake being made by the people in terms of who took Bnei Yisrael out of Mitzrayim. Instead of describing Hashem as the one who was Ha'alucha, who took them out of Anochi Hashem Elokecha, Asher Ha'alisicha Me'eretz Mitzrayim, they instead are describing Moshe as the Ish, Asher Ha'alanu Me'eretz Mitzrayim. What the people have confused is the leader with whom the leader represents. They focus too much on Moshe as an Ish. Recognize Moshe as just another person, as a talented, unique leader who's able to successfully maneuver the politics of Mitzrayim and take them out of Egypt, who's able to perhaps even control the god or gods in bringing down their wrath on Mitzrayim, providing them with all the food in Parashat B'Shalach. But to them, the leader, the initiator, the person who is responsible for creating all these things is Zem Moshe Ha'ish, is Moshe the person. They've confused their leadership. They've confused who to turn to between Moshe Ha'ish, and Hashem. And for that reason, there's a clear distinction that needs to be made between any other anashim, between the Ish and the people that are staying in the camp and that are standing in front of their ohalim, in front of their tent, and Moshe, who even though he lives and dwells in the camp with them, he's not really one of them. He, as a leader, really is a representative of Hashem. And when Moshe speaks, his quote-unquote friends, his Re'ehu, is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is God, and not the other people that are dwelling in front of the camps. When Moshe goes to Ohalo, to his tent, which is the tent of the Ohel Moed, Hashem is waiting for him. And the people cannot just stand there. They have to bow down. They have to recognize that Moshe and Hashem go together, that Moshe and Hashem are the ones that are leading them. And when Moshe speaks, he speaks as a representative of Hashem and not on his own. The need to separate Moshe from the people and to separate Moshe from the camp creates a certain distance between Moshe and the people, a distance that at this point in Sefer Shemot seems to be valuable. Moshe can't talk to people the way he used to. He's going to return to the camp. He's going to return from Har Sinai with a masveh, with a veil on his face, allowing the panim conversations to only take place between him and Hashem and not between him and the people. And that distance from the people and needing to be connected to Hashem seems to be what's necessary at this point. But ultimately in Sefer Bamidbar, as both Rav Meidan and Rav Moshe Lichtenstein discuss, that ends up being a challenge for Moshe. His distance from the people, his comfort with the Ohel being outside of the camp, right, leads to the episode where once again the Ohel and the Machaneh are highlighted in the words of the Torah in the story of Eldad Umeidad, where there Moshe's choice to separate the leadership from the people ends up being a challenge, ends up presenting a mistake for reasons that are unique to Sefer Bamidbar. But from the perspective of Sefer Shemot, it's important for the people to recognize that their leader, that Moshe, is different than them, and that their leader represents ideals and values and a connection to Hashem that is beyond what can exist within the Machaneh itself. And sometimes we forget about that aspect of leadership and that aspect of influence today. We live in a world where there's such an interest in having leaders talk the same language and be on the same level and be connected to the people, to be involved in social media, use the same kind of language, and speak in the same kind of way as everyone else around them. And what the Torah reminds us is that true Torah leadership, the Es Hashem Elokecha Tira L'Rabos Talmidei Chachamim, requires people who are trying to convey certain values, whether it's Talmidei Chachamim, Rabbanim, parents, anyone in a position of influence, to, on the one hand, yes, live together with the people, but on the other hand, make sure that the people recognize that their ohel, that their tent, their dwelling, their connection also exists michutz lamachaneh, and that there's a time and a place where the others are v'hishtachavu ish petach alo, because they recognize, right, that the leadership of Am Yisrael and that religious leadership is different, is unique, and requires a certain amount of reverence that is separate from what happens b'toch ha'machaneh. True, none of us and no one after Moshe Rabbeinu is going to be able to claim that they are medaber panim el Hashem kasher yidaber isha re'eu. We're never going to reach that level. But the ability of people to recognize that when they're seeking guidance and when they're seeking leadership, they're not just looking for Moshe Ha'ish, but instead they're looking to be Mevakesh Hashem when they're coming out to the Ohel. That's part of what we learn from Parashat Tisa.